Cardano continues to do incredibly well at this time, and maybe not as great in terms of price performance as some people want, and that's fine. Those more exciting times are in fact coming. But I was taking some time to scroll through a lot of news today, a lot of information on the interwebs, and this got me thinking about something very important. This is the exact reason why Cardano and ADA tend to do much better later on in market cycles. And in this market cycle, it's even bigger than it's ever been. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So I won't be having much of a chance during the day to cover what's going on. I'm actually going to be at a golf outing. Most of the day I'm going to be golfing while you guys are watching this video. So apologize for that. But we're seeing a little bit of selling and some profit taking kind of earlier on here in the day. It's about 6:35 a.m. Central Standard Time. So we'll see how the day progresses. Like I mentioned yesterday, we could see a little bit of selling early on in the day. Obviously, we know Michael Saylor is going to be doing some BTC buying, not surprising. But I wanted to note just a few things here in terms of ADA. First of all, we're still trending. We're in the top 10 most searched assets in the crypto market. And every now and then we kind of get this realignment. And what I mean by that is we get more so back in the order of assets by market cap, where you're basically seeing the blue chip assets be some of the most searched assets in the space, rather than some of the low cap, I don't want to call it garbage, right? But a lot of the stuff that has super low market cap, super low volume, because when we're seeing some of the retracements, people are looking for some of that quick flip opportunities, some of those coins that are smaller cap that can move a lot faster. But then as we start to pump again, you start to see BTC, XRP, Ethereum, and obviously Cardano fall into this list, which is a very good sign. And what we're seeing during this time is that, Cardano optics remain incredibly high. Something I referenced the other day was obviously Cardano search volume hitting a 90-day high. We can obviously see the big pullback on the 12th. Not really surprising as we went through our little bit of retracement, but you guys can see it working its way back up. And I can't help but think, just looking back at how things began back in November of last year, this all started the same way. Right? We just kind of popped out of nowhere, and now we're into the week here of July 13th through July 19th. So we're probably going to be following this same trend here, an aggressive amount of search traffic to the upside. Whether we see green in price, whether we see red in price, it's probably not going to matter, because right now the optics around the crypto space are in fact on the rise. And in fact, when I was looking through the interwebs today, when I was looking through socials and scrolling through, Twitter to try to see what new information there was, we're obviously coming across a lot of stuff that we've already known about. Obviously, NASA building in Cardano, Franklin Templeton running Cardano nodes. That stuff's not really that new. But what this brought me to this conclusion, and that is that the Cardano community is some of the most active in all of crypto. And this is the reason why we win some of the awards overseas when they vote on what blockchain's the best. Usually Cardano wins because the Cardano community is very big and very dedicated. Usually when we see the polls online, Cardano tends to win because the community is so active. And when we get later in the market cycles, there are a lot of people that use social media for crypto, right? They try to join communities, they pay attention to what's buzzing. And this is probably one of the big reasons why ADA tends to perform so well later on in the market cycle. Because when people are looking for that information, what keeps hitting you in the face? Cardano, 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 ADA. I will say, even last market cycle, guys, I didn't own ADA. I wasn't that interested in Cardano. I was solely focused on single token. It was the complete wrong way to do it. But it wasn't until the deep depths of the bear market cycle that I started, talking about Cardano. Obviously, I've been covering Cardano here on the channel since like July 28th of 2022. Didn't even buy ADA until the very depths of the bear market cycle. Bought it near the absolute lows. So I'm obviously doing very well. But what I will say is that ADA and Cardano were incredibly loud late last market cycle. And even though I wasn't paying attention to it, I was aware of it. Even some people who I had been, that I was in a community with, that were solely focused on this other token were in fact talking about Cardano. So that's where things can really change in a hurry when it comes to ADA. Right now, it's why I'm not surprised that we're following very similar structure to what we've done in cycles past. And that gives me a lot of excitement for where things are headed. We've talked about obviously this big push that ADA is trying to make to mimic last market cycle, where we did in fact follow the same trend. We went on our big dip here, prepping for a third attempt in breach. That's kind of where we're at and what we're working up towards now. We're trying to get back up to what would be now about $1.90, $2, but for the bigger extension that comes following that. This is a very exciting time to be an ADA holder, frankly, because we have some of these big developments. We have the potential for an ADA spot ETF. There's obviously interest from enterprises and governments throughout the world. We have massive scalability launches that are coming for the ecosystem itself. We obviously have Midnight, all these things that we talk about time and time again. They're helping create just this very, very loud narrative right now surrounding Cardano. And that's something that whether you're a lover of Cardano, whether you're a hater of Cardano, it's something you're not going to be able to stop, right? The charts only tell part of the story. And right now, I'm just noticing, I'll talk about this in a later video. I was just noticing we're very close to breaching a significant trend. No, screw it. Let's talk about it. Looks like we're very close to breaching a significant trend in terms of ADA in general here. And I was actually noticing this on a Shiba Inu chart as well here. Guys, look at this. This is like crucial resistance here. This is where, moving lines. This is where we're very close to opening up and breaking out of this longer term trend since December. That's a really big deal. And I think that that's going to change actually a lot of things when it comes to ADA. Did we do that last market cycle too? Yeah, kind of. It was more of a smaller trend, but God, things are just so similar. I'm sure you guys are feeling that same way as well. Sometimes these things just, it's crazy how similar they are to last market cycle. And now I'm rambling, but you guys get the point. We're a better position than we've ever been. Last market cycle, we didn't even have a functioning blockchain, guys. We didn't get smart contracts until the top of the last market cycle. That's all you really need to know. The biggest and best times for Cardano seem to be ahead of us here. And I'm looking forward to seeing what can get done here as we move through the back half of the year. So appreciate you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.